Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 317 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Fantastic. If this is the first time you're ever seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every week, except for the last month, minus 1 week, two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure to like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, and everyone in betwixt. If you only listen to us on audio services, that's cool too. Just give us a thumbs up, 5-star review, or whatever your service allows. If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop. Also, I'm sorry, this podcast is brought to you by Derek Bamford as well.
Live in the chat.
At patreon.com/2playercoop, you have a lot of different benefits, but the most popular one is the $5 tier, which lets you watch us record the podcast live on YouTube. You get a bonus episode every month, which we're about to record after this. Sorry, guys. Again, the last month's been crazy. I know you're like, Kevin, whatever, shut up. It's fine, whatever. I'm just saying, I know it's been crazy. We're going to record a bonus episode after this. I think it's going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be a really fun one.
Yeah.
And you get the podcast live one day early. If you're crazy, you can be a $20 subscriber, which makes you a patron saint, just like Derek Bamford and John Tingley are. Sorry, Derek Bamford gets a podcast. I didn't say this last week. John Tingley got the bar.
He's got a bar named after him.
He's got a bar.
If you're interested in the $20 tier, make us an offer. We'll probably name something else after you. Maybe this table.
Yeah, this table, not my house. Jess would kill me. She's doing much better now. She could actually kill me. So we're not going to do that. But some of our shout outs do deserve, some of our patrons deserve a shout out, just like our patron saints. Obviously, like I said, Derek Bamford and John Tingley, as well as our affiliates, James Solar. Make sure you check out James Games and More over on YouTube. He's been playing through Pikmin over there, and I don't get that game, but I want to, and I appreciate it. As well as Sarah Solar and Mom. Also, shout out to James for the new setup. Way better than our setup. We've got this. It's cool, but we don't have lights and stuff like James does. I just want to give James a shout out because his setup is freaking awesome. As well as our producers, Steve Appleton. Also, Steve, if you're hearing this, thank you for the message. I did not see it on Patreon until just now. But, before we started recording, I just want to say thank you for that. It means a lot. Always
good to hear from you.
Yes. Aunt Sue, Dustin Downs, and Chris Peralta. Make sure you also check out PS Rewind on YouTube. If you like cool t-shirts and the like, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2playercoop. How you doing, Sean?
Doing good. I was hoping Chris would be here. Chris, if you're lurking, let me know. I just bought tickets.
Name your next kid after me. Hey, look, I'm Snipped, he's Snipped, so that will not be a Patreon tier.
Maybe a dog. I'm not getting one anytime soon, but
I hope I'm
Do you want a third dog?
No. I've got 4 kids and 2 dogs and a cat that is kind of mine. Shout out to Smokey.
Just bought tickets to go see
Taylor Swift. Oh, no, I saw it on Twitter, yeah. Where is that?
All American Rejects, Newfound Glory, Starting Line, Get Up Kids in Nashville. Nashville Municipal Auditorium. Never been there. It seems like it's a relatively small venue, which is where those kind of bands should play.
Right.
I'm looking forward to All American Rejects, but even if they weren't there, just going to see Newfound Glory and Starting Line would be worth it. I'm wondering, Chris, if you're watching this late, tell me about Get Up Kids. I don't know if you've ever listened to them. Give me some songs to listen to before the concert so I actually know some of their stuff. Pre-sale was yesterday. I'm not going to say what we paid, but we did the pre-sale, which was like
a lot.
So it's like a circle.
Like time.
Yeah, it's a nice flat circle, and it looks like the seats go all the way around, and then there's like it goes all the way around, and then there's like the floor, and then half of that floor is the stage, give or take, and then half of that is the floor.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm not going to this unless I'm on the floor. I want to be like high-fiving the band. I want to be right there.
With your Team Young ass.
So I'm like, I could probably wait until general tickets go on sale, but I'm like, if I wait and I don't know, somehow there's no floor seats, I'm going to be upset. So I got floor seats, but the only way to get floor seats ahead of time is to do like the VIP package. So there's one for All American Rejects.
No.
One for Newfound Glory.
Yes.
Meet and greet. I've basically met them before, but whatever. Meet and greet, signed poster, some other merch, early entry, all this
Humble
stuff.
brag.
It was a decent amount of money, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know.
Your back is
I know
gonna
I'm
be
not
killing
Team Young anymore. I don't want to be in the mosh pit. Like, I'm hoping, usually if you're right against the stage, you're further ahead than that. If that's all going on behind me, they can just knock themselves out, whatever.
Literally.
Usually it's not like they're not moshing right up against the stage. And that's where I plan to be, because we'll have like early entrance and stuff. So I'm going to park myself right front and center.
I ain't peeing.
And
I'm not pooping.
Moving.
I'm not doing nothing.
Yeah. So looking forward to it. It'll be interesting, but yeah.
So what is the song that you and Chris were talking about that is the greatest pop punk song
I said
ever?
Maybe greatest pop punk song.
But what?
Best of Me by Starting Line.
Okay.
If you know any of their songs, it would be that one.
I don't know that I do.
You've probably heard it before. It's like 2002, probably. 2002, 2003, maybe. It's from what I consider to be
Oh my God! Yes,
the golden age
Yes,
of pop
yes.
punk. It's perfect.
Like 2000 to 2004, maybe.
I saw them. So I've seen Newfound Glory 3 times. I think.
I've still never seen them.
I saw them at Warped Tour
Wow.
04.
With Blink?
I don't remember. All I remember I don't.
Blink.
No, I know. So they must not have been.
Okay.
I think I went 03, 04, 05. 03 wasn't great. 04 was very good. 05 was kind of good. I think 05 was like My Chemical Romance maybe and some others. 04 was Newfound Glory and Yellow Card.
Oh.
And so we saw them at Six Flags, Darien Lake. And so a lot of the bands after the show would go over to the amusement park.
Oh my God.
And so there must have been some ride that, I don't know why I wouldn't have gone on it. Maybe we all went on it and then some people were going on it again. I'm like, I don't need to go on it again. I'll just wait. But I remember I was waiting for my friends to come back from somewhere, and then I just see Jordan, and I'm like,
It's me.
it might as well have been Taylor Swift. Like, I was just like, oh my God. And then I remember just being like, Jordan? And he like looks over at me. I'm like, oh my God. I ran up. I hugged him. I'm like, I love you. You're so awesome. And he was like, that's weird.
Well, yeah, if it was CM Punk, he would have punched you.
That was the first time I saw them. Second time was in Montreal. I was 19.
Canada.
Drinking age, so it was a great time. Front row again. All I remember, I remember the show, but the main thing I remember from the show, they were doing Hit or Miss. Have I waited too long? That's what he did. Have I waited too long? And then he he didn't hand it to me, but he put the mic in my face. Like, have I found that someone? I was like, okay, life made. So that was the second time I saw him. Third time I saw him was in Memphis at High Tone Cafe, which for anybody that's not in Memphis, it's about the size of you can't see this room,
Of
but
our
it's like
playroom recording studio.
it's tiny. I'm like, I can't believe they're playing here, but it was like,
wasn't that like right after you got here? No, it was a couple.
It was pre-Kira, so it was probably 2018, I would guess.
But we talked about it on here. I remember that.
Yeah. But that was probably the coolest, because that was when they were basically playing entire albums. Each show was
yeah,
two
yeah.
different albums, and they did Sticks and Stones, so My Friends Over You, and Catalyst, which is all downhill from here.
Yeah.
They played both of them in their entirety, so like probably their best, definitely their best two albums.
Yes.
And so that was just fantastic. So I get to see them again. I get to meet them in an official setting for once.
Not be like, Jordan.
Starting line, I saw one time. I saw them at SUNY Canton. I don't know why they were playing there. I don't even remember who else was playing with them. But I'm like, oh my God, they're playing like 15 minutes down the road. We're going. I went with Larry, Jason probably. Yeah, that was just like a weird. I'm like, why am I? I mean, it's not like they're a huge band by any means. So I'm like, it's just weird that I'm seeing them here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to relive my youth a little bit, hopefully survive. What I'm thinking, though, is probably most people that are excited to see any of those bands, they're probably not little punk
they're
teens
yeah.
and 20-somethings. Like, yeah, they're probably... I'm probably going to be older than most, but, like, it's not going to be a bunch of, like, idiot, like, 18-year-olds, like, I don't know. So I'm hoping it won't be too crazy. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So... Chris, tell me about Get Up Kids. I need to at least know some of their songs, so I'm ready for them.
If they put the mic in your face.
Because they're the opening act. It's Get Up Kids, Starting Line, Newfound Glory, All American Rejects. So I'm going to be up front, which means I got to be up front from the beginning.
Wait, the Rejects are the main band?
They're, yeah. And they haven't come out with anything, or I don't know, maybe they have.
Move along, and
Yeah,
that's
they
it.
pretty much had 2 albums.
Yes.
I mean, they've probably had some sense, but yeah, they're... Maybe it's more of like a co-headline because they had the 2 different VIP packages. There was the one for All American Rejects and one for Newfound Glory. But the billing is All American Rejects first. So I got to be up there through Get Up Kids. I don't want to be up front and just be like, I don't know these people, but I want to at least be able to.
You are mine. And you're like,
I need to know at least 1 or 2 of their songs. Like, here's their big hits. I know they're going to play these. I'll learn them and whatever. They'll probably play for like 20 minutes, but
now I have I waited too long stuck in my head.
So good.
I still have not seen NFG in concert, but my favorite concert I've ever been to.
Beach
I've been
Boys.
to see, huh?
Beach Boys.
No, first, not favorite, but it was awesome because I was in the heyday of Full House and whatever. If you're team old, you know what I'm talking about. I've seen Dave 6 times. I've seen this band twice, I think. Yeah, only twice because I saw him at this concert and then once in Tunica.
I know who it is.
OAR. Yep. I got to go backstage.
And you told them about...
Stop. Don't step on my story. I didn't step on yours. Steppenwolf. I got to go backstage and meet OAR when they
Now,
played.
how did that happen? How did you end up backstage?
So it happened because we bought tickets. It was all general admission. It was at Minglewood. So again, super small, whatever.
Oh, wow.
But it's weird because OAR recorded an album at MSG that was sold out. This was when Shattered was like the biggest song. So of course they sold out. But anyways, they didn't sell out. They sold out. Like Metallica says, yeah, we sell out. We sell out every stadium we go to. But I got to go backstage and meet them because the guy, I won't say his name, and he's not related to me, and his name is almost like mine, the first name as well. But he was my area manager for AT&T at the time, and he was like best friends with Steve Conley. Well, I said that name. So
shout out to Steve
Conley, who ran like one of the radio stations here. I don't think he does anymore. But I was like, hey, we're going to this concert. Is there any way, we could get backstage or anything? He's like, I don't know. At that point, I was like, I hate AT&T, whatever. I don't care. But he's like, hey, I got you. You can go backstage. Just go over here, talk to this guy. He'll let you in.
You arranged this like while you were there or before the show? Like before
the show, but he wasn't texting me back. And I was like, hey, we're here. No pressure. It's fine. If not, it's fine. I don't care. I'm happy. I'm at the concert. We're here early. I'm going to be like, it's fine. And then he's like, yeah, you're good. Go talk to this guy, say this and blah, blah. So I got to go meet OAR, and it was funny because if you look back at that picture, I love the shirt that I had with my wife beater under it. It was like a button-up shirt that I had unbuttoned enough that you could see that I was wearing a wife beater, because this was like that time. This was like 2011 maybe. And my pants, I had these black jeans on, but they were like very wide all the way down. And it was like, okay, it's different. I mean, I don't wear skinny jeans or anything because these legs can't do that. But I got to go backstage and meet him. And when I talked to Mark, who's the lead singer, I was like, dude, I'm such a fan. This is amazing. Thank you so much for letting us back here. It's great to meet you guys, whatever. Benji was there. It was awesome. And he's like, is this your first time, your first concert? I'm like, no, man, no. He's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you've been to a lot of concerts? In my head, I thought he meant your first concert ever, not your first OAR concert. My answer should have been, yes, I'm so happy to finally see you guys live. But I was like, no, I've been to a bunch before. He's like, oh, well, what was your first concert? And I said, I don't know. I was like 11, 12 years old in Watertown. We went to see the Beach Boys. And he's like, wait. Your first concert ever?
I think this is the first time I realized that that's not what he actually meant
it's
by
the first
that
time
question.
I've said it and realized it. Now, I don't know for sure. It might have just been your first concert, whatever. But as I'm saying it now,
it would be a weird thing to talk to a, I don't know, 30-ish year old.
Yeah.
Like, is this your first? No, I'm a grown adult. What do you mean? So he probably did mean
your first.
He probably
OAR
did mean
concert.
your first OAR.
I was like, no, I went to see the Beach Boys, and then I was like, okay, cheese. But it was awesome. I don't care. It was so much fun, and then the concert was awesome. They played. I remember right before that, I tweeted them, and I was like, hey, this was right after. I can't remember what album it was.
I remember.
But Irish Rose, was my favorite song that was not a hit from them.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Oh, it's so good. But I was like, hey, I'm going to be there tonight. Can you guys play Irish Rose? And they tweeted back. I was like, hell yeah, Irish Rose is awesome. Yeah, let's do it. I was like, okay, cool. But I got to go backstage and meet him. And yeah, embarrassed myself. But Mark McGrath, no, that's Sugarfly. No, Sugarfly. What's his name?
Sugar Ray.
Sugarfly. He made fun of me. And
Mark
that was
Roberge,
awesome.
Is that his name?
Mark Roberge, yeah.
Roberge.
Benji is bass, I think. And then I can't remember. Oh, God. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nobody even knows who OAR is, but whatever. But yeah, that was my favorite concert ever.
I love it's such a better story knowing now that he probably was asking,
is it your first
time
concert?
seeing OAR? And you're like, no, I saw the Beach Boys when I was 10 years old.
He was like, the Beach Boys?
And he's like, all right, let's get
take
this
a picture and get these people out of here. By the way, I'm younger than them, so it's not like I was the old guy trying to be cool, but yeah.
That's hilarious.
Hey, kids. All right, Sean.
Yeah.
Let's talk WrestleMania.
Yes.
I'm pissed. I will say, before the main event, Green Day basket case is awesome. Yes, Derek. Before the main event, I thought it was top 10 at least. Maybe top 5 Manias of all time. And then we get to the main event.
So, real quick, before the main event, I think it was way up there in terms of match quality.
I mean, at least for night one.
However, usually, and I'm not sure that this is even a bad thing, it's like it almost didn't really feel like WrestleMania. I feel like WrestleMania usually
it never
had a
does.
bunch of like, Stone Cold's coming out, and here's Hulk Hogan, and here's Mick Foley, and that kind of stuff. Or like last year with like Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. Usually there's just some stupidness going on. And this didn't really have any of that, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
We
It's
had
just
McAfee.
like match after match after match after match with a bunch
lot
of
of
just
commercials.
crap in between, but like good matches. I think Rhea and Charlotte was maybe the best women's wrestling match
It's
I've
the best
seen.
I've ever seen. Yeah.
Logan and Seth was awesome.
Yep.
I figured that would
As much as I hate
possibly
Logan
steal the show.
Paul,
He's amazing.
Oh my God, he's way. When he did the freaking box jump onto the top rope and then did a moonsault, I was like, okay, all right, I can't. Like, you did the Suicide Forest thing. I will always hate you for that. taking that aside, looking at you in the ring, like the dude
he's
could do it
unbelievable.
full-time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Ray and Dominic was a good match. I'm like, I get the story you're telling, but I'm just like, I hate Dominic, so I just right off the bat, I'm like, I'm kind of mentally checked out because I don't care. Whatever. I don't remember. Oh, the tag team match was just perfection.
Yeah.
Like storytelling, just perfect. Second night, Brock and Omos, it was whatever. It was just slobber knocker. The women's match that night was okay, nothing great.
The IC match.
That was fantastic.
That was one of the best triple threats. Like, I think back to when it was Seth, Brock, and Cena.
My only issue with that match is I'm like, there's Drew and Sheamus just completely and perfectly offset each other. I'm like, there's no way that Gunther isn't winning this. If it was like Gunther versus Drew versus
And
like
Rey Mysterio.
Omos or something, like where I'm like, okay,
We went different ends of the spectrum there. Rey Mysterio, Omos.
like then I'm like, okay, I could see anything happening, but in this I'm like, you basically just Drew and Sheamus are just like 1A and 1B. They're just like one and the same. I'm like, there's no way they're gonna have one.
Right.
I'm like, there's no chance Gunther isn't winning.
It's kind of like Sheamus and Drew were a draw.
Right. Drew draw.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic match, but I thought it was just kind of a foregone conclusion. I'm like, Gunther's 100% winning this, but I don't think it really took away from it.
But again, though, when it comes to like Big E has said in the past, like big meaty men slapping meat, which is I'm not going to say, but like that is like the most Hoss match I think I've ever seen. It was awesome.
The Hell in a Cell was good, not great.
Well, it all got derailed, and like I was the one that noticed it because I was like, Edge threw it. He threw the ladder, and Finn was like,
"Oh no!"
And then I was like, "Oh, I think he got hit." Sean was like, "What?" And I was like, "Wait, hold on." And then they're like, all of a sudden, he's walking around. There's blood.
It's blood.
And I was like, "No, I know what happened." I was like, "Sean, watch." And then he was like, "Oh."
And you can tell, like, it just knocked it. Like, oh god. But like, I feel like the match itself was fun. I feel like Hell in a Cell matches, it's like they've done everything you can do. And if you don't go outside the cell, then it's like, okay, it's just a match and there's a fence around it.
But
like
there's two things.
We've seen it all.
So
right
there's the sale to Endeavor, and then there's the whole TVPG thing. Like obviously, I don't want Finn to bleed to death. Also, the guy apparently tore his calf 2 weeks ago on SmackDown.
Finn?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I heard that on the Masked Man podcast today. But it's Hell in a Cell. Like, the fact that someone gets busted open, and I know it's not just whatever, it's like a freaking gash. Yeah. But like,
it brought me back to like Seth and the Fiend.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, DQ, call it. I'm like, what? This is Hell in a Cell. What? Yeah. God. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't let him.
I don't want Finn to get hurt that bad, but like, you're supposed to bleed and help. Like, and I will say now that they're part of Endeavor with UFC, whatever, so maybe they're gonna ease up on the whole TV PG thing. Like,
yeah,
not every match needs color, but that match did. Like, and when I was listening to this podcast, I was like, you know what, you're right. Like, why is this a rivalry? Every time Edge fights them, he wins. Like, why are we still doing this?
Yeah.
And then I love when Finn went up and he was like, oh, I'm going to do a coup de grace. Oh, wait.
Here's a random platform sticking out of the cage. I'll jump on that. Yeah. So, and then obviously you had Shane. Okay. Rest in peace, Shane.
Poor Shane. My God. Dude, like.
Tore his quad.
So apparently what I heard was that Miz at one point looked out to Snoop and was like, hit me. So I don't know if that's true or not, but like, poor Shane. And I don't know even.
And it was
why
right
he
after
was
they
there.
said, "Wow, he's still got it," and I'm like, "Oh, he didn't land that."
He jumps and he goes, "Wee!" And he goes, "Pff." "Oh!" And poor Shane tore his quad.
When he tried to get back up and fell, that's when I was like, "Oh,
I was like, "Oh no!" So I assume he tore it right off the bone. But Snoop comes in, he's like, "Hey, player!" Bam! And another bam, and then he's like, "I guess I'm gonna do this." And he's high as a kite. I'm gonna take my glasses. Woo! And then he does the slowest run ever. And they were saying on this podcast, they were like, dude, like the logo for the NBA is Jerry West. Just the logo for the WWE should be Snoop going 1, 2, 3, and just kind of leaning into the ropes like 10 degrees and then running really slow. Like,
I feel like if you or I were in a wrestling ring and we tried to just, I feel like we would probably look like that. I feel like you think you could go in there.
Worse. No, we would look worse because we would run into those ropes as hard as we could, and then we'd go, you know?
Yeah.
But then, yeah, so he beat Miz. Shout out to Snoop, Hall of Famer for some reason. But anyways.
Yes, main event.
Okay, main event. I've heard so many people say that Cody has not gone through enough hard times, as Dusty would say, to get the belt, and that this build up to this feud was all respectful, and Dusty was your dad. He helped train me. Whatever he didn't teach you, I'm gonna teach you. And then even when it was like Cody and Heyman, it was respectful and everything, but like everybody keeps saying there's more story to tell. I'm like, no, there's not. He has been through hard times. This guy was he's been wrestling for 15 plus years. He got relegated to being, he had to be like, I am a narcissist and I got punched in the nose, so I got to wear a freaking clear mask to protect my pretty face and my lips. And then they're like, you know what? Your half brother was Goldust. So you know what you are? Stardust. How is that not hard times? He's doing cartwheels and going. He's been through hard times. What are we talking about? Like, I realize he's fought Seth 3 times, beat him 3 times, but when you keep calling, you keep saying that his nickname growing up was Hollywood, that when he was 19, whatever, he went to Hollywood to try to be an actor and all this other stuff, and he tears his freaking pec, which was like the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then he rehabs so quick, comes back to the Rumble, comes in at 30, eliminates Gunther, and he's going to WrestleMania. And I like Sean and I were talking, like, I don't know how the crowd's going to be. It's probably going to be 50-50. I don't know. At the beginning, it was kind of 50-50. By the time we got to the finish of that match, it was not 50. It was 99.9 to 0.1. No. Where it's like, Cody's winning this. And when he got up and he finally, I kept saying to Sean, I was like, do the bionic elbow, do the bionic elbow. It finally got to that point where he does the bionic elbow and he's bam! And he grabs him, crossroads, grabs him again. And as I don't remember if it was before the second one or after it, but he does the second crossroads. All of a sudden, Heyman's up on the side, and I'm like, in my mind, because they kicked out Solo Sikoa out of the match, I was like, it's fine, whatever. He's going to hit one more and it's over. And then they have Cody look like an idiot and just grab him. I'm going to walk over into the corner. And I'm going to be like, hey, this is where I should hit my finisher, right in the corner, not in the middle of the ring, in the corner. And then Solo Sikoa shows up, does the Umanga spike to the throat, spear, two rope spear, boom, done, over. Like, I knew when Roman went boom, if he would have just done one rope, I would have thought like he can. But when he went the second one, I was like, here we go. Okay, 1, 2, boom. So also on the podcast I was talking about, they were like, because they were watching it down like with the people, and a lot of people were. What they thought a lot of people were thinking is what I was thinking is like, either The Rock's coming out, like you said, if they just end up Roman wins and it goes off the air, what the hell are we doing? Well, that's what we did.
Exactly what happened.
But I was thinking either Rock's coming out or Triple H or another ref or somebody's going to come down and go, no, we're not ending Mania this way. We're going to restart it. Boom. Solo, you're out. If you come back, he loses both titles. Boom, done. No, just Roman gets it, and Cody's like, ugh. I don't even care now. Like, I love Cody, but the main reason I thought Cody was the one to take the belts off Roman, and the reason I wanted it to happen was because I want to get back to a point where championship matches are not, like, the outcome is not known before we even get to the match. Because right now it's like Roman wins. Like, even Sammy, with all the momentum he had in February, I was like,
no, they're not going to put it on Sammy right before Mania.
Like, no, it's not going to happen. But, like, if Cody's the champ, he can fight Seth, he can fight Orton, he can fight Riddle, like, he can fight Sammy, KO, like, and you never know who's going to come out of there the champ. But when it's Roman, it's like, now it's like, okay, are we just waiting for 50-year-old Rock to come in and just, like, it's so stupid. It like, for me, again, it could have been a top 10, top 5 WrestleMania of all time. But the way they ended it was so freaking stupid that it kills the whole weekend. Like, nothing will ever take away me watching that Sammy and KO match versus the Usos. That was awesome. That was storytelling at its finest, and they finished the story. The main event, Cody and Roman, was perfect until they did the end that they've done in every freaking Roman title defense. And it's like they didn't have the guts to finish the story. Cody wins it at SummerSlam. Cool. Whatever. You built up to this for a reason. Like, why not just have, like, Brock wins the Rumble and you beat him again? Like, why'd it have to be Cody? Like, it's so stupid, and it's probably Endeavor and all that. Like, the sale, whatever, you want to keep it on Roman, whatever. I don't know. Your thoughts. I've talked enough.
I mean, I can kind of see both sides, I guess. I mean, to me, I think Cody deserves it, and I think they did an okay job of building to this match between two people who have zero history. I mean, yeah, they came up with, oh, your dad trained my, like,
but they've never even been, like, contract signing,
right? Like, nothing. It's just, hey, he won the Rumble.
I'm here.
All right, we got like 7 weeks. Let's make them hate each other for some reason and whatever. And then, I don't know. I thought they did an okay job with that. So I don't know if they just wanted it maybe to be a little bit more personal, whatever. Like, I do think the next champ will be Cody, but you have missed out on the opportunity, even if it's not till Mania 40. I don't think you'll have as hot a crowd as you had at this one. No. Plus, that's in Philly. They'll probably be cheering for Roman. Like, you missed the perfect opportunity to do it. And it's like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like you had people were 60-40, I would say, at the start for Cody. But again, like I said, by the end, it was 99.9% in favor of Cody in that crowd. Everyone was like, Cody, Roman sucks. Roman sucks. And he was like, man, what y'all don't know who I am? What? Like.
And now you've gone, I guess, again, because of the whole Endeavor thing, now they flip Brock. And it's like, we already have a George. We already have a George. We already have a Brock. Roman is the new Brock.
Roman is Brock.
He's like untouchable,
yes.
Never loses, but wrestles 10 times a year.
But again, like, Brock did lose. Like Seth, again, like we were talking about that night, WrestleMania 35, Seth was getting his ass kicked, and then he hits him in the nards, and then it's like, boom, stomp, 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 done, boom, done. Yeah. Like, Roman's not, like... And it's not Roman. Again, it's not Roman. I love Roman as a person and a wrestler. He's freaking awesome. And his music, now it's in my head.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
He's not the booker. This is not like Kevin Nash saying, I'm going to beat Goldberg. Like, Grr! It's not that. But when you have someone who is the champ for over 2.5, almost 3 years... What are we doing? Like, Bianca Belair, that's what, I don't hate Bianca, but I wanted Asuka to win because I'm like, you got to change something here. Yeah. Like, You're running through all your challengers. No one matters. Then you got freaking Ronda and Shayna. Shayna, apparently, the reason she had no boot on that one foot was because she like broke her ankle or something in the middle of it. And then Ronda's like, I'm going to do an arm bar the wrong way. I'm going to bend your arm. I've got your arm. I'm going to bend it this way. I'm like,
and then they win. And then the next night, well, we'll have Liv and what's her name fight for. But
they just
you didn't win.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be? It's just like nothing.
But also,
sense.
Becky and Lita should not be champs.
No, that's stupid.
I hope they win the belts. I hope Becky, like Lita. I love Trish, whatever. Also, no, never mind.
I'm gonna guess Lita turns on Becky.
Oh
then
my God,
it's
don't
like
make Becky wrestle
then it will
her.
be like Lita versus like Becky and Trish. And then at the pay-per-view, Trish will also turn on Becky. Like, they'll do something like that. I don't know.
Please.
But, like, get the belts off that. Like, I don't even care about the women's tag titles. But, like, this is stupid. You're wasting Becky. Why is Lita here? She does about as good a moonsault as I could do if I actually had the balls to try to do it.
She
just falls backwards just enough to,
I
like...
gotta kick my legs. Okay, I made it.
But, yeah, I don't know. I watched all of Raw for the first time in years, just waiting for anything to happen. I think there were 5 matches.
I called it.
You had Brock's wasn't a match.
No.
Seth came out, looked at the crowd for a little bit, and then left. He didn't have a match.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Did he pull a Jericho when Jericho's like...
Basically, he was just out there just while his music was playing.
They can't make him a heel. What are they doing?
And then he walked back out. And then that was it. I don't even know. I can't remember if he even said anything. You had a squash between Lashley and Ali. You had a squash between Omos and somebody. I don't even remember. You had 2 squashes.
Oh, it was poor Elias.
Oh, yeah. What happened to him? You had 3 You had the women's tag match, which didn't make sense because why are they all of a sudden like whatever? They didn't even win the night before. You had Ray versus Austin Theory. Okay, it was fine. And I think there's one more
Judgment
match.
Day comes out, yeah.
But it was like 3 hours, and we had, I think, 3 matches. Like,
so I will say
that was their chance to like. I'm like, okay, let's see where this is the Raw after Mania. Let's see what they do. They did nothing.
And their big surprise was a guy who's been there for years, just coming back from smoking pot. Also, as soon as Brock came out as a challenger and was like, hey,
I'm like, he is acting over the top.
He's like, Cody, I love you, man. It's like, yeah. I was like, okay, no, I'm going to play RE4. I'm done. I'm out. Oh my God. I never sent you this, by the way. This nightmare.
Cody actually, I mean, the one on the left actually looks somewhat like a real person. The other one does not.
No, the other one looks like freaking Scott Stasiak or whatever, Sean Stasiak or something on steroids.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm just
I'm
done.
Obviously, Roman's not going to wrestle in a title match, I assume, till SummerSlam, and it's going to be Cody.
Probably.
I assume. But so Backlash is going to be Cody v. Brock and Bad Bunny and Ray versus Damian Priest, who I'm sorry, has no talent at all. He sucks. And Dominic has more talent than I forgot his name already. What the hell is his name? What is it?
Damian.
Yeah, Damian. He's like, brr, 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 brr. You didn't have to get involved, bro. Brr, brr, brr. You didn't have to get involved, bro. I'm like, you don't have to translate for us. We know what's happening because you're kicking its ass.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just...
Oh, also, Dominic's sister did not know he was going to throw water in her face.
Oh, really?
He got there and he was like, oh, she's drinking. That's stupid.
Perfect.
He grabs it and he looks at it and it's like, a little bit of water. Yeah, whatever. Because at first he was going to take it and just go. But he's like, it's water. There's not much. Okay. And that's why she was like.
I don't know. Like, I assume Cody will fight Brock, but like I have no faith in them that they would have Cody win. So you're gonna have Cody just get smoked again?
Did you get the picture that I sent to you and Jason of Cody and Brock and Cena and Brock.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, it was perfect.
So he's going to win. But that tells you all you need to know, that little freaking old-ass McMahon with his black hair and his little mustache is in control. Like, poor Triple H. My God. Let this
I'm
guy
guessing
run the freaking
SummerSlam
show.
will probably be a triple threat. That's my guess right now. Roman, Brock, Cody. That's the SummerSlam main event. Because it's not like Roman and Brock are buddy-buddy. I don't think they're going to team up. I think...
Well, no, but that's why everybody actually bought it, because obviously Brock hates Roman for taking Heyman away from him. But I was like, but Brock is still Brock.
Right. He's not all of a sudden going to team up with Roman. He's not going to be in the bloodline. Like,
No.
SummerSlam will be a triple threat with the three of them.
Looking for a paycheck, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're going to give it to Cody by pinning Brock, not Roman.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll keep watching like the big pay-per-views, and that's probably about it.
Also, Money in the Bank is in London. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be like a Saturday afternoon.
Oh, AEW's tonight. Do we know what Tony's announcement was?
No, you can look it up. But on that note, let's get to what we have been playing, which nothing else.
I played a little bit of... I was looking for something new to play. I forgot that I even bought it a while ago.
Oh, gosh.
I started playing Salt and Sanctuary.
Oh.
I don't know how I feel about it. I've only played it for
that's
the
second?
first one.
Okay.
I've only played for like 10, 15 minutes. It is very much... It is closer to Bloodborne than... Or any FromSoft game than a Metroidvania. Like, it's a Metroidvania in
it's 2D. It's
yeah, but like you're just picking up random items. The game is very obtuse. You don't even know what these things are that
like
you're picking
Hollow Knight.
up. You have to go to basically bonfires to like level up, but every time you do, all the enemies respawn. If you die, you lose your salt and you have to go and get it. If you die trying to get it, it's gone forever. Blah 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 blah. It's super difficult.
Oh,
I feel like
I assume that's the announcement.
Yeah.
I mean, cool, but
I feel like all the enemies, like everything is just very gray. I mean, you've seen like,
yeah,
I have walked straight into enemies so many times because I just
Yes.
don't even know that they're there.
Hey,
and
Caitlin Clark.
it's just, I don't know. I think I need to give it more time. Like, I didn't like Bloodborne when I first played it. And I'm not saying this is Bloodborne, but I think it's one of those games. I was expecting just a nice casual Metroidvania that I could pick up and play for 20 minutes before I came over here. And I'm like, okay, I was not prepared for this. I don't know what I'm doing. So I don't know. That is all I've played besides.
Okay, so you beat RE4. So right now for me, I am in chapter 11 and I am at about 12 and a half hours.
See, I wish I remembered. I don't remember what I beat. I think I was at 18 maybe. I was right at like an hour.
Okay.
Like plus or minus a minute. Like, and I want to say it was 18. It certainly wasn't. I didn't hit the 20s. I think it was like 18. It was 17 to 19. I'll say that. I definitely have just gotten over the whole thing with like the movement and the running. I think I've gotten used to it.
Yep.
I think it's easily my game of the year right now.
Yes.
Again, I don't think I would say that I would be shocked if it wasn't my game of the year, but I would be surprised. I mean, I'd be a little less than that. I'm not saying like there's no way anything can top it, but it's my game of the year. If Final Fantasy or Zelda or Spider-Man, if it happens, or Jedi, like if any of these are better, then they are a masterpiece. Like this is a masterpiece. It's a 10 out of 10.
Yep.
I love it. I still don't know if I like it better than the original.
But why?
For the same reason that you think Zelda 1 is like a masterpiece. I mean, it's flawed, but like at the time, it's just like it was over the top cartoony. This is like
but this
they're
is
still.
too, and it's so freaking good when he's like,
Oh, I love it. Believe me. So I beat it.
yes,
I know I'm not getting the platinum.
No.
But I started New Game Plus. I'm like, well, let's go ahead and do it on professional or whatever, like the hard difficulty is. And one of the things that's different about it, and you'll know where this story is going, is that there's no autosaves. So
why don't you just save?
I don't know. So I
Dude,
saved.
what the hell?
I saved at like the second screen, basically the farm area,
Mm-hmm.
the first screen that has the blue medallions. I had saved there. Got through that. Shot all the blue things. The next areas where there's the people are like throwing dynamite and stuff. I got through there. Enemies are doing way more damage.
Yeah,
Even with my body armor.
yeah,
It's definitely a lot more difficult, even with all my weapons, all my ammo, my
Right.
body armor, all my health. Like, I was getting smoked. And I ended up dying in the area where you have to go and get the hexagon piece where like the wind is blowing and whatever. And it was some crap where like, I don't know, I had a decent amount of health and then somebody grabbed me and I'm like, X, let go. And then I don't even know what got me, but all of a sudden there was like this like tentacle that like went through the back of my head and I'm dead. And I'm like, oh no. Sure enough, I'm back at the farm. I'm like, oh, I'm done.
yep.
I'm not saying I'll never go back to it, but I'm like, I can't, I need some time away
Yeah.
now. I don't see myself getting the platinum.
No.
I may still play through New Game Plus again at some point. Because honestly, I had maybe more fun playing the original on like the various New Game Pluses than I did the first time through, just because it's like,
Yeah,
it's that type of game where I'm like, if you're going to give me all these enemies, then yeah, I want to do it with no worry about how much ammo I have
Right.
and just, go crazy. It's a 10 out of 10 favorite game. I mean, it's my game of the year right now. I can't imagine.
there's 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, there's some games that could beat it out, but right now it's my game of the year. Supposedly everybody's saying RE5 is next. I would be okay with it. I liked 5. I don't know what happened there. I liked it. I don't remember, like, it's pretty much just more.
Got a question. How's the grill?
Oh, yeah. Sidebar. So I got my Blackstone griddle, seasoned it all up, shined it up real nice. It's the opposite of that. It's all black now.
Twist it sideways. Put up your candy ass.
Then I'm like, breakfast will be a nice, easy way to break it in.
I burned everything.
I think I got way too into my head because I was watching all these YouTube videos. They're like,
Just cook it.
you got 3 temperature ranges. You got like the 300. Well, no, I'm saying this is like the way people online say you should use it.
Okay.
You've got like 300 to 325. That's for like toasting buns and cooking like eggs.
Okay.
And there's a couple other things, but that's pretty much it. Then the middle range is the big one, which is like 350 to 375. And that's basically cooking anything. Meat, cooking pancakes, bacon, chicken, anything like that. Burgers, dogs, whatever. Then you got the high
bacon,
range,
chicken, birds, and dogs.
which is like
Meat.
400,
meat, but yeah.
400 plus. And that's basically
Searing.
for like searing steak, and that's it. So like,
This
I've got 4.
This podcast is so stupid.
I've got 4 burners. So I'm like, I'm going to leave the left one off. I'm going to put the next 2 at like low and put the last one at like low medium. So I'm trying to hit all those ranges. I've got an area to the left that's kind of just like a keep warm, but not going to continue to cook anything. I got plenty of room for like low temperature and then high temperature off to the right. Even where I had it at low, it was getting up to like 375. I'm like, I can't keep it any lower than that. So I'm turning it off, and then it starts cooling. So I turn it back on, and I don't even know what to start with. But I've got scrambled eggs, I've got bacon, I've got pancakes. This accessory kit I bought comes with like the little egg shaper things.
Yeah. 2
of them are circles, 2 of them are hearts. Kira wanted pancake hearts. So I'm trying to make pancakes, but I'm also trying to make some with the hearts.
And at 8:30 in the morning, you're like...
So I got scrambled eggs, bacon, regular pancakes, heart pancakes, and English muffins.
There's no freaking way I would ever. No.
So I quickly just got overwhelmed. I'm like, I don't even know where to start. The temperatures, it's about right. Whatever. All right, let's at least do the bacon. I start putting the bacon on. And I'm like, I didn't put any like oil down. I'm like, well, it's bacon. The bacon will just kind of create its own grease, whatever. Bacon started sticking. It was really thin bacon too. I'm like, it's like peeling as I'm trying to scrape it. I'm like, at this point, I'm already just done with it. I eventually just said, screw it. I mean, I made some scrambled eggs, but I think the grill was too hot because they cooked right away. I'm very picky about my scrambled eggs. Kira ate them. She said they were fine. Maddie ate it. She'll eat whatever. But like,
she's one.
I think the eggs were dry. I could tell just by looking. The bacon was okay. The pancakes were whatever. I don't know. But I was just getting real stressed. And then by the end of it, I'm like, I don't care anymore. I just want to cook the rest of this food. So I started making pancakes and just throwing bacon on. And then I'm like, this is what I should have done from the beginning.
Yes.
Like, who cares what the temperatures are?
Right.
You don't want to cook the eggs too high.
Flip it. Yeah.
Because they'll cook like that and there's nothing you can do. But like the bacon, who cares if I'm cooking it at 300, 325 instead of like 350, 375?
Right.
It'll take a couple minutes longer. Pancakes, I'm cooking them too high. Who cares? Flip them before they burn. So I should have just... A, I tried to do way too much.
Yes.
B, I thought about it way too much. I should have just gone with it. So I still like it. That was way too much for a first run. Next time I use it, I'm just going to cook burgers or like chicken on it and just be done with it instead of trying to do like 4 or 5 things at once. But yeah. Flat tops have a high learning curve. Absolutely. Do you have an infrared thermometer? I do, but I almost wish I didn't because that's why I was like, I'm like, oh, it's 297 degrees here. And then, ooh, 7 inches this way is 492. I'm like, what is happening? I just need to not care about the temperature. Keep everything at low. Because even when I had it at low, it got plenty hot.
375.
So I'm just cooking everything on low from now on and just 1 or 2 things at a time and whatever. So definitely a learning curve. I thought it was going to be easy. I'm like, how could you screw it up? It's a griddle. It's a big, this should be easy, and it was not.
So, Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 5. I'm looking forward to it if that
5?
is supposedly what's coming next. I don't know why people don't like it. I don't remember why I didn't like it.
It's racist.
Yeah.
How dare you set a game in Africa and kill
Go back to killing white people.
Like,
yeah, but 4, I mean, I loved it. I thought none of the things they took away from the first one I thought were of any huge detriment. It's basically, there's no Robo Salazar. There's none of the running away from boulders. There's none of the quick time events with, what's his name, Krauser. Fine, take all those. I don't care. Some of the boss fights were a little different, not better or worse, just different. It's beautiful. Like I said, it is hands down a better game than the first one. I'm just like, that first one will just always be special to me, I guess.
To me, I hate the first one now. But so when I get through the area where you got to freeze a certain enemy, which I wasted all my shotgun ammo, not thinking, oh yeah, it showed you the elevator because all you got to do is survive.
Oh, as soon as I got there, I was like, oh God, I hate this part.
When they do the infrared...
Well, you still killed it, though.
No.
I thought you had to.
No.
I didn't think it was just a survival.
No, but I thought... when I went back to where the elevator was, what I remembered from the first one is that there's like...
I thought it was like, oh, the elevator's coming.
No.
But I thought it was like, it's not going to get there until you kill him.
No.
Yeah, the first one had canisters that you throw down. This one, it's the showers instead. But same thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I killed him. You just freeze him, and then you just lay into him while he's frozen, and then go to the next area, wait for him to show up. Oh, there he is. Pull it.
You can only use those buttons like 2 times.
I mean, I killed him. I pretty much only used each of them once, and I killed him.
Well, good for you.
I used do you have the striker or the riot gun?
No, I've still got the riot gun.
So I used the striker because the striker's like you can just
semi-auto,
shoot.
Boom, boom,
Yeah, so I would freeze him and
so I should,
hit him like 8 or 9 times before he unfroze.
Okay, so I should sell that and get the sweeper.
The striker?
Thing. Yeah.
I would. That's what I always do. Yeah.
Okay. So
I think if you killed him, you probably just get something that you can sell.
I get a ruby or whatever.
Yeah.
So where I left off last time, I had to run around this thing and whatever, and then I get to this point where I go down here. I'm like, hey, Ashley, go in this locker. And then it's like, okay, ooh, there's the red thing I need. Let me grab it. And I was like, what the hell are these chainsaw ladies? I never played the DLC, so I've never seen them before. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And Sean was like, no, you're fine, whatever. And then I got sick. Oh, yeah, by the way, I was sick for like 4 days. I thought I was dying after everything that went on with my wife. I thought I was dying, but I'm okay now. Noah's gonna throw that basketball off the wall and it's gonna piss me off. But when I went there the next time, and I was like, okay, Ashley, locker, let's see, break open this, get this, okay, whatever, okay, I'm gonna go to my bolt thrower, I'm gonna go click L3, I'm ready. Okay, cool, okay, grab the red thing. I'm like, okay, yep. Back up. Somebody grabs me from behind. One of the little like peasants. And I'm like, brrr! I hit R3. So Ashley comes out. And then at some point I grabbed my shotgun. I was like, and I shot Ashley like in the face or something.
I thought I shot Ashley once, but I'm like, I don't know if I actually shot her or if it was just perfectly timed.
I've done it twice.
Okay, so you can shoot her?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I shot Luis, and he was like, hey, bro, I'm Bad Bunny. Like, what are you doing, SA? But I got through those things. Okay, the town elder fight.
Yeah.
Again, Sean and I have already talked about this, but it is way different. I don't remember anything. Like, honestly, the only thing I remember about this game is the village, chainsaw guy. Oh, and I killed him the second time.
Who?
In the mines, chainsaw guy.
In the cart?
Before I have not rode a cart yet. But when you go down there with Luis and you're trying to, like, you got to get like, dynamite and everything.
Yeah. I don't think I ever killed one. Other than
I killed them twice.
Chainsaw chicks. I killed them. I don't think I ever killed a chainsaw dude.
No, I killed a chainsaw dude with a couple of grenades. And then I get to the castle finally. And then you go up to the castle and it's like, I remember nothing about this game, but all of a sudden there's a giant's like, "Boo! Boo!" I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Boom. Done. Then she died a couple times. Ashley gets incapacitated. I'm like, hey, baby, it's okay. Okay. Well, that didn't work. And then freaking Salazar's like,
oh, hello, Leon.
That's pretty good.
Mr. Kennedy, I see that you are trying to save your princess. Well, would you like to join the bloodline? No? Oh, so you choose death. That is too bad. Gods, kill him.
That was pretty good.
thank you.
I don't know how close the dialogue was, but it was a good impression.
It wasn't close. But, like, apparently some people were saying that in the first game he was an actual child, and now he's just a little person. Like, I'm pretty sure he was a little person, midget, whatever, canceled.
I don't think he was a child, no.
Okay, well, whatever. I missed the hat. Like, we were saying either on the podcast or, like, since then. Like, I missed the hat. But, like, man, the first time when I was like walking to do something and I fell down into the depths, I think it was just called the depths. And then there's the blind guy, and I was like, okay, because you hear like,
Well, I remember like when I saw him, I'm like, oh god. I'm like,
Oh, he can't get me.
Wait, he's still attached. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna have to fight this guy. I'm like,
me
while
walk
he's
down this
still
hallway.
no. I was like, well, while he's still tied up, maybe I can get some shots in. So I pulled out my pistol. I'm like, I wonder what happens. And he breaks free, starts coming at me. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, if I would have known that, I would have at least shot him with a shotgun or something. So I'm like, I wonder if I can get some free shots in while he's still tied
John
up.
Tingley.
And then he busted out very quickly.
No. So I saw him and I was like, huh? Okay, let me just go through this hall over here. And then there's like all these chains hanging down with all these the friggin' insignias and stuff. And I was like, oh god, okay. Let me Jingle. Then I'm like, no, stop, circle, crawl. Okay. And I'm like, okay, he's coming at me, but he didn't know I'm here. Okay, cool. It's like, oh, he didn't like that. And then he gets you and he goes, I was like, alone. So that was way worse, way worse than the original game. Like 100 times worse. It freaking terrified me. And then Ashley starts to have something happen. That's all I'll say. Those little spider freaking beetle things, were they in the original game? Were they walk and they go?
The flying things?
Yeah.
I think so, but I think there was definitely some kind of little flying thing. I don't remember how similar they were, but
I hate those things.
they're stupid camouflage. Talk about just running into enemies. I ran right into so many.
One. It was like, oh, this is just a rock. It's like, what the frick is happening? And then when you're running around the castle and then someone jumps up, like I texted you and I was like, holy shit. And I was like, okay, pause. Okay. Oh, okay, good. Cutscene, cool. Okay, good. We'll get to that in a minute. And then the garden maze, which I remember.
I remember that being terrible, and it was not that bad.
It was not that bad. The only thing, like, did the dogs in the first game have the...
Some of them did, yeah.
Okay.
I usually hate dogs in Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
I had almost no problem with these dogs.
No, my pistol, I was like, one shot.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay.
Yeah, they weren't bad at all.
Yeah. You do play as Ashley in the first game. Okay. When I got to the point in the castle that I remembered, it was so much worse this time, but also so friggin' cool. When you get to this one room in the castle, when the two blind Wolverines with two different masks, and I was like, at least they're different. Like there was the bells and stuff. By the way, I went up to one. I was like, knife it. You're not coming? What the hell? Like, this is not as easy as it was in the other game. What the hell, man? But I slinked around, and they had the freaking... Like, it's not even just the plagas coming out of their back. You can see the eye, which I do not think was in the first game.
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't even know how many shotgun shots and grenades it took to take these two dudes down. And, like,
There were so many times throughout the course of the game where all of a sudden I'm like, holy crap, I finally have a lot of ammo. And then you get to a part like that, and it, yeah.
Yep. And I get a unicorn horn. I'm like, oh, maybe this is like $50,000. No, it's the freaking
it's
puzzle.
the key thing.
Yeah. That I do think, as stressful as that was, I think fighting those two dudes, that mini boss, was maybe my favorite part of the game so far, because it was like, in the original game, it was like they were regular enemies, quote unquote. This was like a mini boss, and there's two of them, and they're, like I said, two different masks, all that. Oh, it was so cool. Like, I was just like, I would have a dude come up to me in his cloak, and he's going, I'm like, I don't care. I'm crouching. I'm going to walk by you. I'm like,
all smug and self-satisfied.
And I'm like, whatever, if you hit me, whatever, but I'm not going to make any noise, whatever. Finally killed them both, went from there. And then I got to the freezing section. At first, I was like, oh, crap, yeah, this guy's invisible. Then all of a sudden, I'm like walking. was like, well, not invisible. Okay, cool. So where I ended in chapter 11, about 12 and a half hours in, you have to fight 2 bosses with Luis. And I was like, that was not in the first game.
No, it was.
Really?
Mm-hmm. With the same mechanism with the...
Well, I haven't done it yet. So.
Oh, well, yeah.
Just off the air. Please tell me how to beat them, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't do this.
The way, if I remember correctly, that's a little different from the first one.
Okay.
But, yeah.
This game is, again, I love Colin, whatever. He said Dead Space, the original Dead Space is better than RE4. And the Dead Space remake is better than the RE4 remake. And I'm like, you're wrong on...
I imagine he's wrong on both. But
Yeah.
I never played the
now,
original Dead Space.
This right now, spoiler alert, right now, like Sean said, right now, this is easily my game of the year. There's only 3 games. There's Final Fantasy, there's Spider-Man, and there's... Zelda, yeah. That's it.
So I knew what to expect with this game. And like I said, the original is one of my favorite games of all time. This is probably now also one of my favorite games of all time. However, playing it, I do miss... I was never really scared in this game. I want Resident Evil games to scare me.
Yeah.
I still think, and I think VR took it to a whole new level. Village is one of my favorite games of all time. It's probably it's my favorite.
More than RE2?
I don't know. That's tough. But it's way up there. And I'm like, yeah, RE2 scared the crap out of me. 7 really scared the crap out of me. 8 scared the crap out of me at parts. This game, I was never scared. Even when I saw a chainsaw guy, I was like, nope, I'm running away. It wasn't like, oh my God. Like, I'm just, nope, I'm going to run away. So I do miss that. And that's not what this game is meant to be. It's just, it is what it is. So I don't know. It's easily my game of the year right now.
Yep.
I can't imagine it somehow drops out of the top 3.
Well,
I mean, it could happen.
yeah.
But like some combination of Jedi, Zelda, Spider-Man, Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
At least 2 of those need to be
amazing. Yeah.
To even get it down to 3. So we'll see.
We shall. All right, Sean. I was saying bye to Derek. Okay, good. James still here. Okay, good. All right. Sean.
Yeah.
Whew. Shall we get to the news of the week?
Let's do it.
All right, Sean. Let's talk about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Okay. I was going to read through the article, but we've been talking long enough. There's no point. Okay. So development on the game is now complete. Thank you. No more delays. So there are 4 abilities that were shown off in this gameplay demo. First, recall, which rewinds the movement of different items. So in the first trailer, well, not the first trailer was down in the caves and everything. The first somewhat gameplay trailer we saw was there was like this big, circle ball with all these spikes that rolled downhill, and Link was like, and it went back up. Okay, so it rewinds that. You can also use it if a rock falls from the sky. You can jump on it and go brrrr. So that's cool. You have the fuse ability, which lets you combine weapons or items to create more powerful versions of those things. Also, like if you've got a arrow, you can put like an eye on it. And it's like homing.
Yeah.
You have the Ultra Hand ability, which can help you create vehicles. So again, basically Nintendo was like, all these people are like, they're stacking 5 different like mine carts and everything, and then they're just like putting a sail, and they're like, phew. So we're just gonna let them do that actually in the game. There's also the Ascend ability, which lets Link go through ceilings where he goes, and apparently it didn't seem like there was any limit on where the ceiling is.
No, as long as there's
something above you, you can get through it and go up there. Also, there was a Switch OLED Special Edition announced, a Pro Controller, and a case as well. Okay, so you texted me that you came out of this gameplay demo more hyped, and I said I'm kind of less hyped.
Well, I came out of it more or less neutral.
Okay.
It was pretty much what I expected. I didn't get anything that I wanted. I got pretty much everything that I expected. So yeah, I kind of came away from it pretty neutral. Then I watched Zeltic's video.
Yeah.
And then I came away still not crazy hyped, but more excited for the game than I was. I was finally able to just be like, no matter what I think now about Breath of the Wild, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And I quickly just kind of got over and dealt with having to use sticks and random magic wands and stuff. Like, as much as I would rather just have a sword, I got over that real quick. And as much as I didn't like it, I don't think it took away from the overall experience that much. I still want it gone, but it is what it is. So I finally got back to that kind of mindset. I also think I like all of these new abilities better than all of the old abilities. Like the stasis, the magnesis,
the bomb.
Do we even have bombs in this one? I don't. What I don't know if I like, even though I think I kind of see why they did it, the game kind of tells you when you can do any of these, when you can use recall, when you can use ultra hand. I'm like, I want to just be able to use it whenever. I want to be able to pick up a dead corpse and like fuse it with my hammer and just make a corpse hammer. Like, I want to be able to do anything, not just, there's a rock, there's a tree, you can stick that to your
you got to break
pipe
it, then
and
you can
smoke
fuse it. Yeah.
But I think if they left it completely wide open, it would just be insane. Same thing with like the vehicles and stuff. It would be cool to just be able to do anything. But I've definitely come around a bit. I like that, even though it may be just some clever behind the scenes whatever, they certainly make it seem like it is all one world.
Yeah.
I came away from some of the earlier trailers
loading,
with the mindset of like, there's the ground and there's stuff up there. And if you get to the right spot, you can warp up there. And it's like, no, there's the ascend ability, so you can sometimes go through stuff to get a lot higher. If you find a falling rock, you can rewind it and get on top of it and then use that and jump off and hope that you can float to, like, it's not just you warp to the sky and then you warp back down. Like, it's all continuous. At least that's the way it sure seems to be. I've come around on the game a little bit. I'm more excited for it now, other than any excitement I had about the possibility of them reverting to some of the more classic gameplay, which was probably never realistic. All those hopes and dreams aside, I'm definitely more excited for this game now than I have been ever. I mean, we always knew it was coming. Even before it was announced, we knew it was coming. And I was just like, ugh, I know it's probably just going to be more Breath of the Wild. I kind of want something new, but not even new, old, but, you know. So, I don't know. I've definitely come around on it. I'm looking forward to it. I think when we did our most hyped games of the year, I think I had Zelda at like 7-ish.
I think I had it.
It would probably be, for me, it would probably be somewhere around 4 at this point. It would still be behind Resident Evil, probably Final Fantasy,
Spider-Man.
maybe Spider-Man. But, yeah, I don't know.
So one thing, they talked about this on GameScoop, and I think James and I have talked about this, is so they're showing these abilities. They haven't shown dungeons, shrines, whatever. For Breath of the Wild, it was like you've got 120 shrines, you've got whatever, like you've got all this stuff, all this blah, 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 blah. But now it's like you've got this world, it's created, you've got 2 worlds, and maybe 3 because you're going to go underground, whatever. But like with Nintendo, what Sam on GameScoop was saying is that it's not what they're showing you, it's what they're not. All they're showing you is these 4 abilities. And I will say, I hate breakable weapons, but the fact that you can take a friggin' boulder and put it on a stupid stick and like whap, 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 and it lasts for 40 hits instead of 4, I like that. Sam thinks that there's something else, like not a dark world, light world, low rule, high rule kind of thing, but there's something that's happening underneath that they're not showing us. And again, you go back to think what they said, like the reason they never said the name of the game was because it would give away everything about the game. Tears of the Kingdom gives away nothing.
Yeah.
It just means, oh, we're sad because we lost.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of. Again, this game, we really do need a Switch 2. I will say that. But we don't have to put this on the Wii U, RIP. I'm excited for it, but I still don't know. Like, I just want to know more. Like, I want to know, like, what are the shrines? Are like these green things that swirl and stuff out of the ground? Are those shrines? What do we have for dungeons? Do we have Divine Beasts? Do we have 8 dungeons? Do we have 20 dungeons? Do we have 2? Like, what do we have? Is that Ganondorf? Like, obviously, they're not going to tell us, yes, that's Ganondorf and he's coming back to life, whatever. Like, They're not going to show us that, and they shouldn't. I get that. But, like, there's still so much more I want to know, and the fact that I want to know more makes me think I'm nowhere near as hyped for this game as I was Breath of the Wild.
No.
Because that was up there with Metal Gear Solid 5 and I don't know what else, like as my 2 most hyped games of all time. This will never get to that level because we will never have another moment where we wake up and we walk out and it zooms out and it's like, oh my God, look at this. Boom. But I hope this game does that in a different way.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad I'm at least getting excited. I had almost no excitement for the game before. I'm at least looking forward to it. I'm not like, no part of me thinks it'll be my game of the year. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised, but like when Breath of the Wild came out, I'm like, okay, well, that's my game of the year. This, I'm like, it's almost certainly not.
But again, it comes back to what is Zelda now?
It's
like
this.
We've talked about this, but like it shouldn't, like, it's not a bad thing. Like Breath of the Wild was not a bad game. I'm never, ever, ever going to say that again. Those first 15, 20 minutes, like those first 15, 20 hours with that game are something that I will never experience ever again. Even with this game, it's like, well, we already did this. Like, it was probably better the first time, whatever. But like, you can't just make Zelda this. Like, I don't know if we get Link Between Worlds HD. I don't know if we get another 2D game. I don't know if we get another Ocarina, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker kind of game in the future. That it's a Zelda game that's kind of open world, but it's focused, and you have to go here to here to do this, to do that, to do that. Like, I don't know, but I'm still very excited for this game. The abilities are cool. I don't like Link. There's something about the Ultra Hand thing. I don't want Link.
Well, what I didn't realize until the Zeltic video is that you don't even have the slate anymore. That never even crossed my mind. And you have the hand instead. That's like the source of your...
But again, why do you get the hand?
Well, stay tuned. Yeah.
I don't know. But again, like there's the Switch OLED Special Edition, the Pro Controller, the case. I don't know. It's now that RE4 is out, it's just like I'm more like still, no matter what I've said about this game and Breath of the Wild, I'm kind of more excited for this than I am Spider-Man 2.
Well, so Spider-Man 2, I feel kind of similar to the way I feel about Zelda, where I'm like, it's going to be the same map. As far as we know, it's still New York City. You're still Spider-Man. You probably got mostly the same abilities. You're going to like, and that was my game of the year. But I'm like, I don't just want to do it again.
Yeah.
I liked Miles Morales. I didn't love it. It was, in the end, you're still Spider-Man. You have different abilities, but like you're thwipping and thwapping around the same city. And we've done that once, and you kind of got away with it.
Yeah.
If Spider-Man 2 is just that again, but you can switch between who you're controlling, but they're both Spider-Man, but you're still in Manhattan. I'm a little worried about that game.
Yeah.
I think I am more excited for Zelda than Spider-Man right now.
Yeah.
Because we don't know anything about Spider-Man.
I still think the game.
I'm assuming the worst at this point, that it won't be a whole lot different. And I don't know how it can be if you're still in New York.
I still think the game I'm most anticipating is FF16.
I think of what's left, yeah.
Yeah.
Zelda, as far as what's left, I mean, assuming Hollow Knight is this year, assuming Hades 2 is this year.
Oh, yeah.
I think Final Fantasy is number 1. Zelda, it's probably behind Hollow Knight, maybe behind Hades, but it's ahead of Spider-Man as of right now.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a little worried about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Not, is it going to come out or not? Like,
is it going to be good?
Is it?
Yeah.
What is it just more like, yeah.
Yeah. Sean, E3 has officially been canceled. This comes originally from IGN. Almost a year after announcing its return, the Entertainment Software Association announced last week, to its members that this year's E3 has been canceled. IGN can confirm. 2 sources have confirmed to IGN that the organization announced the cancellation via an email sent out to its members today. The email said that E3, quote, remains a beloved event and brand, end quote, that the 2023 version, quote, simply did not garner the sustained interest necessary to execute in a way that would showcase the size, strength, and impact of our industry, end quote. The ESA concludes the email by reiterating its commitment to advocacy work. What the hell are we talking about? It does not mention undertaking the show again in future years. Following IGN's report, the ESA issued the following public statement from Kyle Marsden-Kish, Global VP of Gaming from ReedPop. Quote, this was a difficult decision because of all the effort we and our partners put toward making this event happen, but we had to do what's right for the industry and what's right for E3. Pin. We appreciate and understand that interested companies wouldn't have playable demos ready. And that resourcing challenges made being at E3 this summer an obstacle they couldn't overcome. For those who did commit to E3 2023, we're sorry we can't put on the showcase you deserve and that you've come to expect from ReedPop's events experiences. Also, end quote. Also, y'all fucked over Colin, so fuck you. The press release adds that ReedPop and ESA will continue to work together, quote, on future E3 events. The event, okay. Look, we appreciate and understand that interested companies wouldn't have playable demos ready and that resourcing challenges made being at E3 this summer an obstacle they couldn't overcome. They announced this a year ago, that they were coming back and they were going to do E3 in LA, promoted by ReedPop. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, the reason that Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo and Ubisoft and Sega and Tencent said they're not going to be there is because, sorry, man, we can't get playable demos ready. No, no one needs E3.
No.
And this hurts me. I hate it so much, but and we'll talk about it in the wrap up here in a minute, but E3 at this point serves no purpose. So many people are buying their games digitally. You don't have to go tell, the Walmart CEO doesn't have to be I would like to have 5,000 copies of Breath of the Wild 2 for the Collierville Walmart. This is not what E3 is anymore.
No.
I hate it, but what? What?
I'm sure somebody's done it. I'm sure everybody's done it. But I haven't seen it because I just don't spend as much time on Twitter as I used to.
Yes.
There's the meme where it's this dude and he's kneeling and he's in front of a casket.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel. E3 is the casket and just peace. I couldn't care less. Like,
It's Jeff Keighley.
yeah, and Keighley is the
By
one.
the way, like 15 minutes later, Jeff Keighley,
by
God
the
bless
way,
him, was
Summer
like,
Games Fest.
June 8th, we'll be there.
So I don't know. We definitely don't need it. I kind of take some enjoyment out of the fact that there's probably a lot of people out there who are real upset about E3 not happening, and I'm kind of just like, sucks to be you. Like, for people like us,
You mean industry people?
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
people like us, no, we don't need it. It's no different than Summer Games Fest. Whatever you want to call it, there's going to be videos online around that time of year showing a bunch of new games. Whether it's Sony doing their own thing and Microsoft doing their own thing and Nintendo doing their own thing, or people coming together for Summer Game Fest. Like, sorry, E3, but we've already got a George. We don't need, like,
We have a
you
lot
stopped,
of Georges.
Yeah, we have lots of Georges.
Yeah.
But, like, Summer Game Fest is
And
there
showcases
now.
and
Like,
everything. Yeah.
no, we don't need E3. I'm not really sad about it in the slightest because
only
it's not going to
reason-
affect me. I know I sound like such a jackass, but like, it doesn't affect me at all. So no, I don't care. We're going to, anything that would have been announced at E3 is still going to be announced somewhere else. It'll be announced at their own shows, or it'll be announced at Summer Game Fest. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's still going to get announced. Call the collection of these people coming together, whatever you want. All the same announcements that would have happened if it was E3 are still going to happen.
Well, again, going back to GameScoop, I think Sam was saying that like Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo might have had to pay like upwards of $100 million to rent out the space, to send people, to make demos, to buy stuff. Like when they did in 2016, when Nintendo was like had 50 Wii U's on display to play Breath of the Wild and everything. Like, there's so much money that goes into this, and also it actually kind of delays the games because you got to get a vertical slice ready that you can show off on the show floor and be like, here it is. And then like you go back to PSX 2014, 15, whatever it was, where like Neil Druckmann or somebody was playing Uncharted 4, and then you're like walking around and Nate just goes, "Whoa," and he falls through the floor, and it's like, well, we didn't expect that. And everybody's like, yes, this is awesome. Like there's so much time and dev time that goes into creating stuff to be ready for E3, again, with tens if not hundreds of millions of dollars. I get it, but like still, for me, I just want 1 week where we're like Ubisoft, EA, Activision, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, can y'all just get together and be like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like, can we just like get together? Because, you know, Phil is for the gamers. Just get together and be like, let's do this. We don't need them. You don't. No. Honestly, I love Jeff. You don't need Jeff Keighley either.
No.
Like, Summer Game Fest sucked last year. Game Awards, really good. Summer Game Fest, not. I don't know.
Yeah.
RIP E3. We'll pour one out for you.
Oh,
shit! I didn't mean to do that. I didn't think
that was awfully cold.
My whole point was to not pour it that far. Here.
It's fine. It actually kind of feels good.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't go down my back. That will be cold.
Okay, hold on. No. You were really great.
Thank you. I am aware.
I am aware. All right. NPD for February. So this took forever to come out, but
I was just like, oh, he's actually doing it.
I didn't mean
It's
to.
like, there's no way he's
I
going
was
to do
like,
it. Oh, he's doing it.
I was like, well, there's more water there than I thought there was. Okay. NPD, which is now Circana, results for February. When it comes to software, obviously, number 1, Hogwarts Legacy. Number 2, Modern Warfare 2. Number 3, Dead Space Remake. Number 4, Madden 23. Number 5, FIFA 23. Number 6, The Last of Us Part 1. Number 7, Elden Ring. Number 8, Wild Hearts. Number 9, Like a Dragon Ishin. And number 10, Octopath Traveler 2. So there were 4 new games on the list that released in February. Hogwarts, Wild Hearts, Like a Dragon, and Octopath. Hogwarts, I assume by this point it's almost, well, no. Is Hogwarts going to sell more lifetime than Elden Ring?
Ooh. I
think
I wouldn't be
Elden Ring's around
surprised,
20?
but I wouldn't be surprised. I will say no, but it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. So Hogwarts Legacy, after 2 months, is already the number 1 selling game year to date in the U.S. It's the first time that Modern Warfare 2 has not been number 1 since it launched in October. When it comes to hardware sales, hardware dollars sold in the U.S. were up 68% year over year. It was the highest February for hardware sales since 2009. PS5 set a new record for U.S. sales for PlayStation consoles in a February month. Ever. Wow. So PS1, PS2, PS4, everything. Nothing. And also Sony is forecasting now their biggest Q1 for any console in history.
That's awesome.
Anything that jumps out there, Sean?
Not really. I mean, I don't think anything looks out of place. I think that's about what you would expect.
I like to see Last of Us Part 1 up there. Again, I don't think the PC sales are going to help that.
Yeah.
But I love to see the Elden Ring still there in the top 10. Like, man, that freaking game. Like, whenever we get a date on the DLC, it's going to go to like top 3 whenever that month is, I think. But yeah, that game is just, it's special. Like Sean's hair.
Oh, it's very wet still.
All right, Sean, time for the wrap up. Miyamoto-san said in an interview that Mario game news is coming in the future Nintendo Direct. What are we doing? We have not heard about a new Mario game. Like I've talked about this enough. But
maybe we'll get Super Mario the movie, the game,
the movie,
the game
2. The Lost Levels. The PSVR 2 launch. This sucks, but I figured this was going to happen. The PSVR 2 launch was very soft as it comes to reports, with apparently 270,000 units sold by the end of March. Analysts are saying that the price cut is coming and it is needed to avoid a quote-unquote complete disaster.
I mean, it's not cheap. I'm not surprised that it's low. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think a price cut would help, but I don't know what they were expecting. Clearly, they're disappointed with it, but like...
Well, originally, they were going to produce 2 million units in the first year. And now they're like, well, we sold 270,000 at launch, so I don't know. Let me sell mine. PlayStation rumors, again, are suggesting that a game showcase is coming before the Summer Games Fest on June 8th. Can we just frickin' announce something, please? PlayStation also is rumored to working on a remote play handheld device, not a Vita 2. James, still there? This sucks. So basically, it's a phone with buttons that you hook up to Wi-Fi. That was my freaking chair. Don't look at me like I didn't. Fart.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't even hear it.
I went, and you were like, so they're not working on a dedicated handheld thing. They're working on a remote play device. Why?
I have no idea.
Phones, you already like have a perfectly awesome thing in the backbone that is licensed and like everything by Sony. This thing works. Put it with your cell phone. Jesus Christ. Put it with your iPhone, Android, whatever. It works. It's awesome. You click it. You got everything. You got the you got dual sticks and everything. Why this is the stupidest thing. This is. It would make so much more sense if they just made a friggin' Vita 2 that could actually play PS4 games natively. Not PS5, PS4 games natively than to make this thing. Who is going to buy this?
I have no idea. I don't understand who this is for. I don't get the point.
It's going to cost $200-$300, or you can just get a backbone for $100, put it in your phone, and then just go. Like, what are we doing? Like, either make a handheld. Now, I'm not saying like they can't compete with the Switch. I get that. Like, Nintendo is Nintendo. They got
but like
that.
Instead, you make a Wii U. Like we didn't.
Like,
didn't we
why?
learn anything?
So to me, still here. Maybe they'll call it the PlayStation U. Damn it, James. Damn it, Dwight. No, this is completely and utterly stupid. And I've seen like kind of funny. It was like, oh my god. I go to YouTube and it's like, oh my god, we're getting a new PlayStation handheld. It's a streaming device. Go fuck yourselves, Craig Miller. God of War Ragnarok New Game Plus is now live. Are you going to play it?
Probably not.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why I would. I don't know. I got the platinum. I got plenty of other stuff to play.
No, I'm not saying like tomorrow, but like
Someday, probably.
this year. Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, no. Okay. Final Fantasy 16 has gone gold. Oh, that was good.
Oh.
Legendary has acquired the rights to Street Fighter films and TV, and a live-action movie is confirmed to be in the works.
And the muscles from Brussels.
I don't know. I don't know what to think.
They
they made a new Mortal Kombat, and it was good.
But like, 2
So-
is going to be awesome.
Hopefully.
But Mortal Kombat makes way more sense.
That's what Street
For a
Fighter should
movie.
be. It should just be a tournament. Even though Mortal Kombat didn't even have a tournament. It's a tournament. You don't need to have this whole like international like
And you've got Guile, like the American soldier played by a guy who goes, I cannot speak English that well, but I could do a split. Oh. The best Street Fighter movie ever made is the
animated.
94 animated movie. Like, what are we doing? Resident Evil 4 sold 3 million units in its first 2 days, the second best launch ever to Resident Evil 6. Obviously, the best Resident Evil ever made.
Wait, are you serious? Was that number one?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's number 1 for total sales, too.
What happened there?
I bet my trick.
How is that possible?
Because people are stupid.
I mean, if they remake 6, I'll buy it. Because there's no way. I mean, they have to. Whatever is wrong with it, they have to fix.
There's a lot.
But then again, if it's the best-selling Resident Evil game of all time, we'd be like, why would we change that?
Well,
so who knows?
RE4 Separate Ways Ada DLC has been discovered by data miners. So I assume this is going to be paid, right? It's not going to be free.
Probably.
Capcom's share price also hit an all-time high after the release of the RE4 remake.
Awesome.
Terry, Joe, and Andy, not Mike. Joe and Mike.
Okay.
I'd like to be a part of an inside joke someday. Have been confirmed for the upcoming Fatal Fury new game. Microsoft is rumored to be releasing a Game Pass Friends and Family option for America at around $40 per month, where you can allow up to 5 people to join. I will say this. I hate on Phil. I hate on Xbox a lot on this podcast. I don't understand. People are really mad about this. And I'm like, $40 a month for Ultimate, and you can have 5 people that split it with you. Why are you mad?
Yeah, $8 a month for.
I don't understand. But the only thing I can think of is that some people are saying that this means that the actual price of Game Pass for non-family people is going from 15 for Ultimate from 15 to 20. Is the only thing I can think of. But like, this is not like. Again, I hate on them all the time and Phil and everything, but like this is not a bad thing. There's nothing about this that is bad. Like I don't understand why there was a backlash to this, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Cyberpunk 2077, the Phantom Liberty DLC details are coming in June. Final Fantasy, this
Phantom
was just
Pain,
announced right
Sons
now.
of Liberty.
Final Fantasy Pixel remasters are out on PS4 and Switch on April 19th. Shout out to Chris Peralta. Okay, wait. Maybe look on the PlayStation. I might try and remember whatever. They already offer a family plan in other regions. Right. So I don't know why. So James was saying in the chat, they already offered the family plan in other regions. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why I saw people reacting to this in a negative fashion. I don't get it. I don't know. Atlas Fallen has been delayed to August 10th. No one took that, right? I don't think so. In our draft.
Maybe John, since he was picking up the scraps.
No, I think
of
even
what
he was
left.
like, no, I don't care. Forspoken is getting DLC called In Tanta We Trust.
Stupid.
It's coming out May 26th. What are the things called in episode 5? Tauntauns.
Tauntauns.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it's TAU. Tauntauns.
Arc 2 starring Vin Diesel. Do you remember this when this came out and he was like, CGI Vin Diesel? Do you remember this?
Not really. I mean, it kind of sounds familiar.
It's
But
now been delayed to the end of next year, and a gameplay will not be revealed until next year. In sadder news, Amazon is laying off over 100 employees from their gaming division, as well as EA is cutting 6% of its staff, which means approximately 775 employees. What the hell did you do? You're like, will be laid off. At BAFTA, Vampire Survivors won Game of the Year. Okay. Really?
did you ever play it?
No. You're going to say this game is better than Elden Ring and God of War. And Horizon, which I didn't even really like.
No, I mean, it's not.
Okay, what are we doing? God of War won the most awards with 6. Hooray, yeah, whatever. But Vampire Survivors, where you're like, you just use a touchscreen, you're like, I walk around and got a whip. Game of the Year. What are we talking about?
I mean,
really?
That is stupid. It was fun, but come on.
Pokemon Stadium is coming to Switch online expansion on April 12th. Also, we got April Games with Gold for Xbox revealed. Peaky Blinders Mastermind, as well as Out of Space. What? No. PS Plus Essential Games for April as well. We got Sackboy Big Adventure, Tales of Iron, and Meet Your Maker, which is a launch game on PS Plus. People were really happy that Sackboy's on there. I'm like,
I noticed that. It's not
you should
good.
play it, and you're going to be like, well,
I was
okay,
excited
delete.
to play
Yeah.
it.
And then we
And
did
then
the
we
stream
did, and I'm
where
like,
we're
this just isn't fun.
we were like,
Yeah.
horrible. Tauntaun.
Yeah.
No, I know Tauntaun, but I'm saying, Sean was like, I said Tauntaun,
Tauntaun.
and you were like, actually, it's a Tauntaun.
2-1-2-1.
All right,
One.
that is it for episode 317 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Wow, we've been going for a while, even counting my pee break. We got to go record a bonus episode. So for right now, that's the end of this episode. And Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.